Hello everyone and welcome to another Elliott Wave forecast technical video a day. Today is Monday, November 7th, 19, around 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Guys, we just finished doing the 4 hour or the 1 hour a day, and I gotta tell you guys, a very interesting market. Very interesting market, I gotta tell you, to be honest with you guys. This market is as dangerous as you can get, and we're gonna try during the next 10-15 minutes to give you that, guys, our best shot on what we see in the market. First, the chart that you guys see in there, that's the dollar index chart. Many of you guys know our corrected target, it was hit right here, which means that I won't be surprised if the dollar index break lower or the dollar index do another extension. In other words, now what we are debating here, so you guys know, is if this cycle was a three-way competition of this cycle, or this is 8 and then we are in this B with a C to come. It's not the trend that we debated. We know that the daily chart is a trend to the downside, and we know that the dollar rally that has happened in September 14 is meant to be failed. Now, the extension is what we are debating, and the extension looks to be, honestly, very interesting, to be honest with you. No, in the case of the dollar, because technically the dollar, nothing has said yet that the dollar cannot do the extension here. What it comes to my attention are the indices. Those are the ones that has brought my attention. Why? Because the dollar, like I say, it can have a top. For example, the euro, it can have a bottom. That's very possible. Or the dollar can do another extension higher, and the euro from 129 can do another extension lower. That's no an issue. I was thinking today two possibilities, or three, better say. First is this one that you guys seeing. Second is that the dollar top and the euro bottom. And the third one, and I'm going to explain it on the euro, is that this cycle ended. And then the recovery in the case of the dollar and the euro is going to be bigger. In other words, that instead of correcting this cycle, the dollar then is going to correct the whole cycle, and it's going to drop a little deeper here. Each one of the three can be possible, to be honest with you guys. Each of the three possibilities can be possible. Let me repeat it to you guys. The first one is the correction of this cycle. The second one, the correction of the whole cycle, and getting an extension higher in both of them. And then the third one is that the top is in and the dollar is going to trade lower. That's why we stand in the dollar. And I repeated once again, that the dollar already, the same with the CAD, have reached the corrected target. Neither the Swiss, the euro, the Norwegian, the cable, neither those part has done it. So I won't be surprised at all to see a double correction. In other words, more time consuming, something like this, like it is right here, or something like this also can happen, and then another 3 weeks rally to the outside. I mean, either one of the three is possible. Like I explained today, the dollar today is in the fight. You got a 1 hour trend pushing lower, but you got to steer a 4 hour trend to the outside. Stay away from the dollar. There are better trades than the dollar, to be honest with you guys. Much better trades than the dollar. Stay away from the dollar is my advice until the market define in one of the three scenarios the market is gonna go. To be honest, that's the advice that we're giving you guys in the dollar. Now the rest is when it's gonna start becoming interesting. Now what you guys see right there, that's the S&P. Look the reaction from the 618. Now the reaction right there, what it has created is that it has invalidated the impulse count. You guys remember that we were contemplating at some moment the idea of an impulse count when the S&P was doing a flat. That has been completely invalidated there. So in other words, mathematically wise, this cycle ended. That cycle ended. And if that cycle ended, I mean, if you're gonna go with an impulse, you see, you gotta mention here, it didn't reach the 1.618. I don't like the impulse. I don't like this to be, honestly, a wave 4. I don't like that as a wave 4, too sharp. In my opinion, the S&P, it has two paths. Either the bottom is in and it's gonna trade higher, or the S&P is gonna do a double trip, something like this, descending the dollar before higher. That's honestly what I like on the S&P. But don't discount the idea of the bottom. Again, right now we are in a fight. Now if we contemplate the idea of the double correction, is due to the fact that if we take a look at a pair like here, which is, this is the UK index, it hasn't reached the target yet. It hasn't reached the target yet. Now it looks like if you measure this, you see the low is a feeble area of the first leg. Maybe what we ended is the first leg, which is W, and then now we're gonna do a nest and correct the whole cycle from September 14. That can be happening everything. That's exactly what I say on the dollar here. Maybe now we're gonna correct the cycle from September 14. And that, in order to know which way we are, we need to wait a little bit for more data in order to be able to locate the sub-cycle in which we are. But this is serious stuff right here. This invalidates any bearish impulse correction to the downside. And then I tell you the truth, I don't know what people get excited, because if it's gonna be a big move, it needs to be 5 ways in some degrees, and I don't see 5 ways in any degrees in any index. The move today create damage to the bells. Honestly, a lot of damage to the bells, to be honest with you guys. So Either it goes to new highs or it's gonna do the double trade. Of course, we're gonna go step by step, and we're never gonna run before we work. So step by step. I don't like selling risk at this stage, to be honest with you. I like a continuation higher in almost every pair. Now, this is the 10-year bonds. Look, it hit the target, and if you trace a trend line here, it brought higher. Look, it broke out of the trend line right there. If you look, the same trend line in the RSI, you guys are going to be able to see how from here to here you are able to see the cycle. That cycle ended. That cycle ended. And it's getting very, very interesting there in that in the 10-year bonds right there. They are getting very, very interesting also. All right, now, like I said, guys, this market is getting very interesting. We don't have confirmation that the risk of trade ended, but we are warning you guys, be careful now with selling risk. Be careful. Stay on the sides. Trade pairs like the Euro Aussie, things like that. Be careful about it. Be careful with the risk of trade. Let's see that if the dollar is gonna get into another extension higher before you buy the dollar again. Let's wait for confirmation that that extension is gonna take place. Don't sell the euro blindly. Don't sell cable blindly. Wait, because it can get dangerous. As soon as we get confirmation of the switch in any index, we're gonna let you guys know. And like I say, the dollar, it can do a deeper correction, an extension, or the dollar can have a top and go lower. Finally, I want to talk about oil. Look at the spike in oil. This cycle ended, and that's why it makes me drop the conclusion that if we add, for example, the dollar here, it makes me to believe that maybe the cycle from September 14 also ended in the dollar. And if that's the case, either it's gonna go in the dollar, like I say, to the lows, or it's gonna go to the 50 of the whole September 14 before going lower or before going higher. Like I said, guys, in conclusion, three cycles. First, don't sell risk yet, but neither buy it. Stay on the sides. We are seeing three possible scenarios. First, the correction from September 14 ended, and we're gonna correct the whole cycle before another extension in risk off. Second, the whole correction ended for September 14, and we go to new highs in risk. And third, a minor correction for October 17 ended, a minor cycle, an internal cycle, and we're gonna get a little deep correction. Still, the market hasn't shown in any pair which one of the three is gonna make. Just to say, stay on the side. Remember that the decline in the dollar do not need to be a 5 weights, because it's corrective in the 8 way on the dailies. The same with the S&P and everything.